Hello everybody, my name is Michael Knipp. And if it looks like the camera angle on my normal shot has changed, that's because it has. I have nothing else to say about it. Nevertheless, as I am preparing for the end of the year and my set of end of the year discussion videos about the books that I've read this year and the best and the worst and joke categories and such, I looked at the list of books that I read this year and I realized it's going to be real hard to pick favorites because I'm going to have to start putting my favorites against each other, which is something that historically I've had a very difficult time doing. It drives me to madness as I don't like to pick favorite children. I don't like to pick favorite books. I can't do it. But what I did decide to do today is something that I've been throwing around for a while now, which is let's talk about what's been happening in my Discord this week. Yes, this is a plug for the Discord that I've created surrounding this channel. And let me just say, it's one of my favorite things about BookTube was being able to create the Discord where people have gathered and there's like this weird sub-community that feels semi-unique to like the people that watch my videos and hang out like together. It's this wonderful little microcosm of culture that I get to partake in every single day. I've met lots of amazing people and we've had lots of fun discussions, and I just wanted to like maybe make a video series where I talk about some of the chaos that happens in that Discord to try to attract new people to have fun together with us there. I called the video This Week at Discord. I don't know how often I'm actually going to make these videos, but honestly, there is enough content that I could do this weekly. It's just a matter of time. But nevertheless, as anyone that joins the Book Friends Discord is likely to find out, it's a crazy place and topics can span all over the globe, not just from books, but lots of silly things. Multiple people have figured out it's a little bit of its own meme place. We've got our own internal jokes and culture. And did I say that I love it? Like, of all of the things that have happened in this channel, the Discord and the people that I've met and that I've gathered in my Discord has been legitimately just so awesome and so comforting and encouraging and fun and relaxing. And I love it so much, genuinely. Thank you, everyone who's there every single day or whenever you're able to pop in. Thank you for making it a better place. Thank you for not only making a place where it's fun for me to hang out, but it seems like everybody has a lot of fun hanging out in there. And yes, I'm part of a billion Discords, and yes, they are all awesome. And yes, I am allowed to be biased to loving mine the most. I am. Nevertheless, let's talk about one of the major things that's been happening in the Discord this week, and that is we have a new member named Ethan O.H., who has decided to create chaos by asking a simple question, which was, I think the question was, what do you think about pickles? Or do you like pickles? That was the simple question that was asked. And my views on pickles are, I went through a really long period of my life where I didn't like pickles because I used to love pickles. And without getting too graphic, I ate a pickle and then I ate another pickle, and I was a little boy and I ate a lot of pickles and I happened to get sick. And all of the pickles revisited me in such an unpleasant experience that for years I put off pickles, but I have come back around and I am now introducing pickles into my diet in a subtle way, and getting that vinegar kick in the middle of a sandwich can be rewarding. It can be refreshing. Nevertheless, what Ethan O.H. and partner The Wolf of Gar, a new member of the Discord, also have done is create chaos by introducing food crimes of an unprecedented sort into the Book Friends Discord. We've had pictures of pickle and olive cake, which we talked about olives this week as well. Olives are delicious, but that seemed to be very controversial when it came to the people that were in the Discord. But olives are delicious, black olives and green olives. Green olives have got that salty kick. I could eat green olives out of just a jar for days. Black olives, also very good. They are good on pizza in quantities, but I'm really more of a green olive fan myself. Also very delicious on deli sandwiches. But a pickle and olive cake is a sin against humanity, which has yet to be fully grasped, and it needs to be destroyed off the face of the planet. But it wasn't even, I don't think, the worst of all of the things that we saw in chat this week related to pickles. We had pickle and mayonnaise pizza, which large quantities of mayonnaise in a dish is just something that's so fat enriched, and I am a fan of garbage food, but large quantities of mayonnaise is just something that I cannot wrap my head around, and I don't think the world will ever be ready. Think about this. Just think about taking a spoonful of mayonnaise and putting it into your mouth. Do you feel good? Does that visual look good? Can you feel okay about yourself once you have swallowed a spoonful of mayonnaise? Putting pickles on it does not help the scenario at all. That's vile. We also saw 2 different variations of a pickle pie. One was like pickles ground into... Honestly, it looked like pickles ground into like pumpkin pie filling, which is... It's just wrong. It's just wrong. But then we got a variation of pickle pie, which is like some kind of pickle topping on a Flaming Hot Cheetos crust. And I am a fan of the Flaming Hot Cheetos. I'm not going to put down Flaming Hot Cheetos. I have to be in the right mood because regular Cheetos are the most delicious when you want Cheetos, but Flaming Hot Cheetos are very good filler because they got the nice spicy kick. All of this discussion climaxed into IDK a name, a user on the Discord, saying, I think what's funny is that people see others who read and they're like, they must be so smart. My friends have said that even, but I'm just like, ha, nope. Book lovers fight over pickles and send hot Cheeto pics. And that is true. As much as we like to discuss books and the topics surrounding books and book discussions and heated debates about characters and plot lines and such, it is also all about the pickles and hot Cheeto pics. And before we move on, once again, just revisit the visual. In your mind, once again, eat a spoonful of mayonnaise. You weird, disgusting perverts. Transition to an interesting comment that user Kat brought up in the Discord, which brought up an interesting discussion. I'm going to go ahead and read the question here in case anybody wants to discuss it in the comments, but here we go. Kat said, I've had this thing on my mind lately, and I specifically would like to hear your perspective on it. So it all started with the all reviews are subjective. I agree, but it got me thinking about classics and the literary canon. I wondered how those are decided upon. I looked some things up and tried to come up with criteria myself, but for everything I could think of, there were exceptions that are definitely considered classics, but don't have those things, or do, but people don't really think of those as classics. On the other hand, I think everyone agrees that there is a difference between War and Peace and Twilight, for example. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, they're just trying to do different things. So is there an objective criterion for what is, or for lack of a better term, real literature and what is not, and what would that be? That of course spawned a lot of discussion in the server. I would like to harken back to my video, which maybe I need to say this again. The video is somewhat tongue-in-cheek. The video where I said popularity is the only objective standard, and one of the things I would like to reiterate from that video is the things that go through history the most, the things that can last the most through time are not always the things that critics find the most worthy or the highest art. It's oftentimes the things that resonate with the most people. Things that resonate with a huge audience can be important for a very long period of time, and if they're really well done and they're written in a quote-unquote timeless way, a way that can appeal to future generations, they can become popular way beyond the life cycle of their authors, and popularity in that sense has a lot more power than what the critics have to say about any specific thing. You can find many instances of critics bashing on something that becomes very popular and it becomes a classic, something that everybody looks back to as being important. Critics don't always get it right. They have a lot of value, and I'm not here to just bash critics and say they have no value. I think they do have their place in art discussion. Nevertheless, things that become popular can supersede anything that any small group of informed people can say. In fact, I would like to say that many of the classics that we enjoy today and think of as being classics were things that were just contemporary or throwaway of their time, but they appealed to a large audience and they got big for some reason or another. And those are the things that really last through history. And I think the more we enter this modern society where people are getting into more niched, specialized groups of interest, the more that will be the case. The things that are loved by large groups of people will be the ones that carry forward and remain relevant the longest. Yes, I am also a person that believes that as time changes, the value of certain works of art can be more or less relevant to the current culture, and It can change whether we see something old as good or not. This can be due to changes in morality, but it can also be just due to changes in taste. If you listen to music from the 70s today, some of it still sounds fun and some of it sounds dated and no one would want to listen to it. I say no one somewhat facetiously. Of course, there is value in these artistic expressions, and if it appeals to any one person, it could be valuable to that person. Sometimes I get a little ornery. But what are your thoughts on this subject? This is another fun discussion we had in the Discord this week. Another huge, long-running discussion on the Discord has to do with the book Anthem. Rich, who is a member of the Discord and has been one of my friends on the BookTube community since the Storm Along 2020 read-along of the Stormlight Archive, where I discovered that he loves Stormlight and we get along very well, and he's been a great member of the community. One of his favorite books to talk about and to use as a discussion starter, partially to try to get more people to read Anthem, is to compare things to the philosophical discussions brought up in that book, the book by Neil Stephenson. He's been trying to get many people to read it for a long time. Chris K, one of the other very active members of the Discord, and him frequently go back and forth with philosophical discussions that relate to things that are brought up in this book. They often go way over my head, but I think they're hilarious to watch until they break up into spoiler back and forths with lots of blocked out text, and I don't click those because I haven't read the book. But this month's patron buddy read for the Michael Knipp Discord / YouTube channel is Anthem by Neil Stephenson, and anybody that wants to read the book should read it this month because it's going to be popping up all over the Discord as soon as more people pick it up. I haven't yet picked it up because I'm behind on my own assignments. For example, one of the topics Rich likes to ask people around the topic of Anthem and the philosophy discussed within is, are good books created or discovered? I believe that's the way he frames the question. And then he points to like Platonic philosophy and realism versus nominalism, I think. It goes way over my head, but I guess I'm going to be part of these discussions myself once I read Anthem by Neil Stephenson this month. To bounce to another topic of discussion, people seem excited about Jade Legacy. I was not a huge fan of Jade War. I thought Jade City was all right, but it seems that I have a lot of friends that are into Fonda Lee's Jade Legacy? Greenbone Saga, that's what it's called. Jade Legacy is a third book. It just came out, and people are hyped to talk about it, and as more people pick it up, I think that it's going to become even more explosive as people seem to be loving it. If you want to talk to people about the Greenbone Saga, I won't be part of those discussions, but lots of other cool people are. Udi is one of the most passionate people I know when it comes to anything on the internet, and he is really leading that discussion full charge. Another thing that I semi-posted as a troll that spawned a lot of fun topics of conversation was I made the joke about Sanderson's the Stormlight Archive, but also like all of his Cosmere things, and also relating to Skyward. I made the comment that hard magic systems are essentially sci-fi and soft sci-fi is essentially magic, and that seemed to offend some people. It seemed to be a bigger deal than I thought it would, but if you think about it, the more rules there are established to making this magic and a hard magic system concrete, the more it resembles science fiction, because to those people, the magic is a science. It's part of their world, the same that science is to our world. Science fiction is often speculative. Of course, it also has a lot of heady themes, but as just a space type of genre, when you have the technology involved, the more you speculate and the more you use technology to explain away things that are less and less realistic, the more that resembles magic. I really didn't think it was a big deal to cross sci-fi and fantasy over in that way. I think the lines are way blurrier than people said, but that got under some people's toes. What do you think about it? Is science fiction and fantasy just two sides of the same coin? Transitioning again, during these discussions, we had some people present some what I thought were awful takes about Navani from the Stormlight Archive. I am a Stormlight Archive stan, and I think that nearly everything in those books is amazing, and you can't convince me otherwise. I'm just kidding. I've had lots of discussions about the Stormlight Archive. You're not going to change my mind, but feel free to share your thoughts. I do love to hear opposing viewpoints, unless they are bashing characters like Navani, who I love so dearly. Why? But also, feel free to share your thoughts in Discord. And then as I was preparing for this video just tonight, Rich mentioned something wildly interesting, which is that Sanderson, as an author who is known for writing 1 billion books per year, is actually semi-concluding multiple of his series, all within the same year period. We got book 3 of the Skyward series this year, which means there's only one book in that series. We are about to finish, in theory, next year, Mistborn Era 2, with a book that I am super, super looking forward to. And also, Stormlight Archive Book 5 is supposed to be the wrap of the first arc of the Stormlight Archive, and yeah, that's cool. It's interesting because you always think about Sanderson starting all these new projects, and we haven't actually got to see him finish that many. I myself have not read The Wheel of Time in its entirety, but he was able to finish The Wheel of Time, and then he also was able to finish Mistborn Era 1. And to my knowledge, those are the only completed pieces of fiction and huge arcs that he's been able to finish. And so being able to see how he wraps up series in more than one specific group of the Cosmere or the Wheel of Time will be interesting to see how he's able to tie that together and how he's able to stick those landings, as we might see 3 potential endings within the same 365, or whatever 2 years times 365 is. Last but not least, something I forgot to address on the Discord, Logan, in the music section of the Discord where we share music and talk about songs, asked everyone's opinion of the new Ed Sheeran and Elton John Christmas collaboration, which I have not actively listened to, so I'm going to listen to that right now, and then I'm going to give my thoughts. Okay, I have now listened to Merry Christmas by Ed Sheeran and Elton John, and I want to say that ultimately my rating is going to come to a 3 out of 5 stars. I think that it is enjoyable, but not necessarily anything amazing. I love the sentimentality of it. I love the heartfelt expression of enjoying the joy of the season, but also acknowledging the sad things that have happened along the way. I do think that Ed Sheeran and Elton John's voices are a weird combination. Ed has this thinner, youthful tone, and Elton John has this big, almost soulful sound, and they do a weird blend on this track. I know that in real life they are friends. I want to say, I listened to an interview with Sheeran, and he said Elton John calls him weekly, if not daily, and they just chat about music, life, etc. Elton John is a guy that follows music, and he's very familiar with what's going on in the music world, the music trends, and whatnot. So you have to respect his knowledge of the craft. Nevertheless, I don't think this is an amazing track that's going to stick around like some of the crazy earworms we have from Christmases past. Still pretty good. That's not to discount Logan's thoughts on the matter. He said it was a beautiful song. I think he loved it. Fair enough. And I believe that has been an accurate portrayal of what is going on in the Discord this past week. It's a hop in time. I suggest that if you want to join in on the fun, you check out the link in the description down below. Anyone is able to join Discord. It's a free program. It's a free server. Come in, express your thoughts, join the channels that interest you, mute the channels that don't. The frick? Join the channels that interest you and mute the channels that you don't. There's places to talk about pretty much everything in there, from Marvel movies to music to tons of different book series. And the general Hangout channel is just for whatever's on your mind at the current moment. There's always people hanging around willing to chat, and they are an amazing, wonderful group of people. Please check out the Discord. If you like this video, please remember to hit the thumbs up. If you'd like to see other videos from me about this topic or others, please remember to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, you hit the bell, you'll be notified whenever I post new videos. I would love to hang out with you in the Discord, as I mentioned before. There's also, of course, the Patreon link down below where you can join if you want to join the official Patron Buddy Read, where we talk about Anthem and we get together to party with Jackbox parties once a month. This last month we actually opened it up to everybody, and we had a good time hanging out with the book fam. Until next time, I hope that you're getting your Christmas shopping done and you've bought everything that's important for your loved ones to show them just how much they mean to you in a capitalistic sense, and you have ranked your friends according to monetary value accurately, because if not, they won't know you love them. But what do I know? I'm not your dad, but I am your best friend. See you on the other side. Bye. To kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways,